So my main question then is, if I can meditate all the time till I'm at that place, I would, but when I'm at work.
This is really good. We're asking you to meditate for 15 or 20 minutes at the beginning of each day, to put yourself in a more likely place of being aware of whether you're satisfied or not. That's all. We're not asking you to meditate all day. We're asking you to prepare your vibrational atmosphere and have conscious awareness of what your vibrational atmosphere is. Most people honestly couldn't tell us right now if the thought that they're thinking satisfies or doesn't. And until you've shown yourself that, then you've got no guidance system that's working for you. And you might get off on a jag of a thought because it's entertaining, or because you always hold the story, or because it always makes people laugh, or because there's something big and bad and awful right there in your life experience that you're looking at. In other words, you've been trained to face reality, to tell it like it is, to tell the truth. And we want you to create reality. You already faced it. You faced it and you created something more. Now look at what you've created, and everything will line up around that, because the fact is, everything's lining up around the mix of vibration that you've got going on. Every subject is two subjects. It's like a stick. And on one end of it is the new and improved desire, and on the other end of it is the absence of what you want. And you're somewhere on that continuum at all times. And the more satisfaction you feel, the more you are in sync with what you really want and who you really are and what your inner being knows about it, you see. And the worse you feel, then of course the opposite is happening. What we're really talking about here, and this goes back to your very first question, and you spoke it so well about how you have this clarity of thought, but then we were talking about thinking and feeling so that you're molding the thought. Well, if you've got this satisfaction factor blended into this equation so that you're thinking a thought and you can feel the discord of it. Esther can remember vividly what she believes to be the first day that she truly had a negative thought. She was in the 4th grade with Mrs. Horton's class, and they were all lined up against the blackboard, all 33 students in this classroom. And Esther was looking at a girl her age who had been in her life her whole life. She was Esther's cousin, same age, they look a lot alike, and Esther had found something that this girl was doing that she didn't like, and the knot in Esther's stomach was incredible, and she thought she was dying. She thought, something terrible is happening to me. It was quite a while later, after continuing with that thought, that she came to make the association that this thought feels like this in my stomach. It was new to Esther. Well, Esther had a pretty good life to get that far into life before she felt anything strong like that, didn't she? And here's the way we've been explaining this to all of you ever since. If someone called you on the telephone and said, hello, you don't know me, I'm just calling to tell you I'll never call you again. You would say, okay, thanks for letting me know. But you wouldn't feel anything about it. If someone you really care about were to say, this is the last time we'll be speaking, and you cared about that relationship, you would feel some strong dissatisfaction. So the degree of your satisfaction or dissatisfaction, the degree of the emotion, has to do with the momentum or the power of the desire. When you really, 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 really care about something, then focusing on its opposite really feels awful. Well, we don't want you to wait until it really, 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 really feels anything, because then you're out of the control of guiding it, because now the momentum is so strong, you don't have that nuanced control. But if you're tuning yourself every morning and finding that place where everything feels right, as you said, and then you move into a thought that is off, you'll catch it. And the more you catch it, the less you'll move into those thoughts. So when we're talking about meditation, when we talk to you about creating, which is all we talk to you about, what we're talking about is you finding a way to consciously control your vibrational atmosphere. We're talking about your attitude, your mood, your vibrational atmosphere. Because your atmosphere is conducive to the next thoughts that will germinate. Does that make sense to you? So when you get good at controlling that atmosphere by really caring about feeling good, the next thing we want to say to all of you is that we talked to you about meditation, and we get how to some extent you want to say, we get it, Abraham, blah, blah, blah. We understand completely. And we also know that it's not really very helpful to you, not really, to hear about someone else's success with something, because all it does is make you believe in their ability to do whatever it is they need to do, and doesn't necessarily improve your own ability to do it. So we write books and we have conversations and we tell you about the laws of the universe. But this we wish more than all other things put together for you. It is our desire that you decide that for a week or two or three, that every day, earliest in the day as possible, that you will set aside 15 or 20 minutes and you will quiet your mind till you reach that detached place where you can't tell your nose from your toe. And then you will notice that about the end of one of these meditations, maybe today, maybe tomorrow, maybe the next day, maybe a week, a thought will occur to you on the tail end of this meditation. An impulse will come into your mind, a feeling that you want to do something, a satisfying thought of something that you might like to do. It might be as simple as going to 7-Eleven and getting a slushie. It might be as simple as buying a lottery ticket while you're there. It might be as simple as taking a drive someplace. All kinds of things. Don't try to evaluate the bigness or the smallness of the impulse. Just note that the impulse happened. And then when you are able to note the correlation between the fact that you were in the receiving mode, the fact that you did receive an impulse, and the fact that you followed it and it led to something, then you will know for sure what we're talking about. You will know you have access to infinite intelligence. You will know that it flows to you and that you can receive it. And then you can just enjoy meditating. Don't sit to meditate to receive signs from God. Sit to meditate for the pleasure of a quieted mind, for the pleasure of a rising vibration, for the pleasure of the blending with who you are, for the pleasure of clarity that will come from it. You'll reach the place very soon that a contrasting thing will happen. Instead of it bothering you, it will inspire you. It will launch new rockets of desire. You'll come to understand that you didn't come into this environment asking it to be perfect. You like the imperfection of its imbalance. You liked the contrast that would cause you to desire more, because you knew if this time-space reality had the wherewithal to inspire a desire within you, that this time-space reality had the wherewithal to deliver the goods. And it's not just the delivery of the goods that you want. It's not just these thoughts having already turned to things so that now you can sleep it or drive it or spend it or live in it. It's not only the manifestation that's sweet. It's the delicious unfolding of it in your own mind and in your own impulse and in your own behavior and in your own realization all along the way. You are creators who must create. If you were a sculptor making a beautiful statue, you wouldn't say, there it is. This is my life's work. Here it is. This is all I'm ever going to do. And people would say, what are you doing now? Nothing. Just did this. Just did this. This is going to hold me for all of this lifetime. I just did this. No, that's not enough. It wasn't enough the minute it manifested. It wasn't enough. There's more, because you are the creator who is in the process of creating, and therefore you are the creation that is in the process of creating more creations, because you are the creation creating. You see what we're getting at? Can you hear us? You get it? Life is about movement. And movement feels good unless it's blocked by opposing thought. Mm-hmm. So
now that we're in this place, now I'm feeling like I still have more like detailed specifics that I want to know about, but that has nothing to do compared to what I want to create.
And also, please take note that those detailed specifics, what influence are you under with those?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Under the influence of why it's not working, under
frustration.
That's going to get you nowhere except more of that. And most important, this is the most important statement of the day so far. maybe of your life ever. Most important, it's practicing a proclivity that keeps you from who you really are. Every time you're trying to solve a problem beyond just the initial launching of the desire, you're barking up the wrong tree, you're trying to paddle upstream, you've disconnected from all of the resources, and until you have some way of breaking the momentum of that, which usually a good night's sleep will do it, except you wake up in the morning and you start thinking about the same thing again. This has been a really, 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 really good discussion. Good time for a segment of refreshment.